My name is Oren Rosenfeld, and I live in Israel. I was born in Israel, in Jerusalem, uh, 44 years ago, and I've been working and creating documentaries here for the past 20 years or so. Started as a photojournalist after art school, after my army service. Everybody has to do an army service here, and then start studying. And I've been making many interesting documentaries that interest me, because I also work as a journalist, and I do a lot of news for the BBC, for Vice News, covering the different current affairs events in Israel. And in between, I make my own documentaries that I get to show a different aspect of Israel, or Israeli society, or different phenomena that I encounter while working, as a journalist.
So how did you find all these fantastic people that you show in the movie? You know that after I saw the movie, I went to Akko and I met Suhaila. And yes, and I really enjoyed the food and how she was very carefully dominating the young guys that were sitting in the backyard, smoking, talking, and she was doing all the work. And then she said, "Hi, come here and serve and do this and do that." So how did you find all these other people also?
So the nature of a documentary is that when you start it, it's not scripted, so you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. You embark on a journey, and one character led to another. So when I was my first day of filming in the village of Abu Ghosh that features in the movie, I was speaking to this guy, Abu Shukri, and he said, "Yeah, there was this big competition, and 10 chefs came, and we were testing to see who makes the best hummus in Israel, and there was even a woman there, one woman." Now, the minute he said "even a woman," I knew, okay, I have to go and find this woman, this one woman that competed against these 10 men. And he said, "Yeah, but you don't need to go find her because I won. So you stay with me." And I believed him, and the competition was called the Golden Peta Award, and we went into the archive, me and Michal Sapir, the producer, and what did we find? We found that not only there was this competition and we have the footage, but surprisingly, the woman he mentioned won first place, and not him. So the next day, we went to Akko. We saw the Golden Pita in Suhaila's restaurant. I don't know if you saw it there. It's still there. She's very proud of it. It's literally a pita, a real pita bread that somebody spray painted with gold, and it's hanging on the wall. And Suhaila is just a wonderful person.
Do you think that food is makes a connection between people, because you found all these different national backgrounds, and the different attitudes towards food, and how proud or how important it is for their lives. I mean, how proud they are about it.
Yeah, well, food is one of the major elements in our life. We eat it 3 times a day officially, and probably many times in between. It makes up a very important part of our lives, and therefore people take it very seriously. You could see how a food can become also nationalistic. It could be, like the guy in Lebanon, the minister, he was like, this is our national dish. How dare the Israelis, claim it as their own, or even make it, as far as he's concerned. People take it very passionately and seriously, and I love seeing that. I mean, I always say I wish our conflict with our neighbors would be over food, over falafel and hummus and shakshuka, and who makes the best knafe, and etc. etc. It's very important for people here. They're passionate about it, and And I loved seeing that. I loved seeing people being passionate about that and not other things.
Yeah. I found a headline online that said Rosenfeld seeks the humanity of hummus. So I love that headline. And besides the golden pita, there was another contest that you mentioned in the movie, and that is the Guinness Book of Records. And you have a little scene about it, how people really work hard to get in the finals, and how, as you say, how serious they take that, and then they back off. They backed off. Was the contest before you made the movie, or I mean, was this the reason that you made the movie? That how they treated this contest?
So I live in a village very close to Abu Ghosh,
Yes.
and the only way in and out of my village is passing through Abu Ghosh. So I heard about this competition. It started before I made the movie. And I always wanted to, I saw it on the news and I said, okay, this is very interesting. It's going back and forth. So that was one of the triggers, that made me film in Abu Ghosh and touch this contest of the Guinness Book World Records for the biggest hummus plate between Israel and Lebanon. And by the way, it's still going back and forth. But it was, like I said, it's always nice for me to see people competing over peaceful and delicious things rather than on land and wars and religion and everything else that we have here in the Middle East that people are very passionate about as well. So as long as they keep passionate about hummus and who has a bigger plate or more delicious plate, I'm very happy. And you mentioned this this sentence that was said about seeking the humanity of hummus is also another element of it, is that, and I say that all the time as well, is that the Lebanese claim hummus, the Palestinians, the Israelis, whatever, everybody makes it. But because it's such a simple food, so, it's claimed by all, but owned by none. And that's how it should be.
That's how it should be, yes. And did the contest finally happen, or it didn't happen at that time?
So it's still going on. At the moment, Lebanon still holds the record. But I hear that Abu Ghosh want to try and break it again one day. But I think it kind of matured into where it should be. Lebanon can keep the title, and everybody's happy.
Do you remember what is the figure? What did they do?
It's about 10 tons, plus minus 10 tons of hummus.
10 tons of hummus in one day, or in one portion?
Yeah. The competition is in one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I also read that you have made a lot of films about Jewish themes international, like Mumbai Jews or Paradise Lost in Goa. How did you find these subjects?
So Mumbai Jews, I'm still working on it. It's going to be finished hopefully for next year. I've been working on it for the past 6 years, going back and forth to Mumbai. Obviously now with Corona, it's a problem. I was always fascinated by Mumbai and its Jews and passing through it. And then, the opportunity presented itself and I decided, okay, I'm going to look more into it, and discovered 2 different kinds of Jews that lived there, Baghdadi Jews and the Israel Jews, and their whole, how they got there and the shipwreck. It was just intriguing. So because I love India, it was a great excuse to make this movie, I have to admit. I'm also now working with a co-director, Rebecca Shore, on Converts, a movie that is almost ready. We are now in post-production, and where we follow different people that want to convert to Judaism. One is a Jamaican from Toronto, Canada. There's a girl from Warsaw, Poland, a girl from Costa Rica that her ancestors are part of the Anusim, the Moranos. the hidden Jews. And it takes us, well, it took me into Spain to look more into the Spanish Inquisition period, where the Jews were expelled and spread around the world. So that's Converts, that's coming soon as well. Holy Vegans, I mentioned, that's in filming actually today. So in between my work as a journalist and doing current affairs for Vice News now, covering the different demos in Israel and the unrest because of the Corona economic situation. I get to do things that I love, and these are these documentaries that touch different elements: food, religion, Judaism, and culture.
And is it easy to get all these interesting subjects financed? I mean, how do you do that in Israel or international?
So in HUMMUS, I was lucky. Somebody, came to the table and funded it. In Mumbai Jews, I got a little funding from different sources, private people, that I told them the story of my movie, and that is helping me make it. But all the other movies, it's all coming out of my pocket. It's money I put aside, or even if I don't have it, I just go out, and because I film myself and I produce myself and direct myself. It's very hard. I always would like to have money to get a crew and do it, but sometimes it's not possible, and I'm doing it because I love doing it. So not easy.
You're working on these films alone? I mean, or you travel to Mumbai by yourself, or you take a camera with you, a person that does the camera and the sound?
I do it all alone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, the editing and all that I don't do, and it's a profession, and I have to hire people, and the post-production and the music, and that's a lot of money that I have to collect from people, and obviously give them credit in the movie, and it's not easy making films today. I mean, it's art, and first you have the idea, then you buy the canvas, then you have to, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of expenses, but seeing it done is for me is worth it all. So.
And maybe the situation of being by yourself when you meet people helps to make a bit of a connection between you and them, which shows also in HUMMUS. People are very open to you, and even their doubts and their problems they share with you. So maybe it's better to not have a big crew with you.
Yeah, there's pluses and minuses to every situation. I'm glad you saw the full half of the cup there, but it's not easy, because when you're trying to do so many things simultaneously, you get distracted a lot. But you're right, yeah. When that moment comes and you're one-on-one with somebody, they open up more, and you get to have a real conversation, and there's no people standing around and distracting you, and so it does have its plus sides for sure, yeah. And you mentioned Lost in Paradise, when I filmed in Goa. That was just me and my camera again, and the story kind of unfolded in front of me. So I came there doing, trying to do one thing, and then something else happened and changed the whole movie. That was an experience for sure.
So the Jews are all over the place, and I heard that even in Goa they have already founded a Jewish community, because a lot of people are lost. There is psychological reasons behind that. Is this your subject in this movie?
Yeah. So what I did is I followed a Chabad rabbi in America, and he was on a mission from his rabbis to come and search for a place where he can open up a center, a Jewish center, so he can provide kosher food, tefillin, whatever a traveling Jew would need, a place to, have a Shabbat meal or prayer. So I was following him. It was his first time in India. And I've been there many, many times. So it was very interesting. So I had to also deal with his new experience in a very unique country and place. And I followed him around, and at some point, we got a phone call that changed the whole path of this movie. So from going and looking for a center to create a Chabad house to help Jews, we actually had to help a Jew that was in trouble, and it ended really tragically. And but because we were there, it actually gave a lot of help to the family of that person that we were helping. And you could watch it in the movie. It's available online free, I think, at the moment. So it's a short 15-minute observational documentary.
This brings me to my next question. The audience that you are facing it's for HUMMUS. It's for people who haven't been in Israel and maybe get a very interesting view on Israel through this movie. But when you have the problems that are in this movie Paradise Lost, then it's more or less a movie to Israeli audience, isn't it? Or do I see that wrong?
I think when tragedy or when something bad happens, it doesn't really matter what religion you're from. It's something very, that touches every human. It's a very human thing. Yeah, there are elements there that only Jews or Israelis will understand, like that you have to bring, the body back for burial, as fast as possible, that you can't have an autopsy. There's many Jewish rules that, Jews know, but other people may not, or not see as important, but are regarded really important in Judaism, like, what we mentioned now. And it just, but I think whoever watches it understands that there's a certain way there, that a religious way that motivates it as well. And many people relate to it, no matter what religion they are. So I think it's just a very human story.
So as a result of talking to you and seeing these movies, I mean, I haven't seen all of them, but I'm going to. It is a good result to say that Oren Rosenfeld is doing humanity movies and also giving a very, very multiple view on Israel and Jews, which is very important. As a German Jew, I can tell you this is very important because people here have a tendency of taking politics or politicians as an example for Judaism, and this is the wrong way to see things. So I have to say thank you very much for the effort that you're taking to put all these different thoughts and sights into films, because this is the best way of giving an image of things, by making them and putting them in pictures. That is, people understand that. Yeah, is there anything you would like to finish your interview with?
Now, first of all, thank you very much for having me here and interviewing me. And it's always nice to hear good words, and motivates me to continue. And and yeah, I mean, there's so many subjects out there and so many beautiful things that are happening that people are not aware of. And I hope I can manage and somehow showing it, through my movies.
Okay, thank you, Oren. It was very lovely talking to you, and hope to see you.
Thank you very much.